Let's talk about the real reason you say yes to foods that don't align with your goals is not about willpower or weakness. It is a primal need that most people will never examine. And once you understand it, everything changes. I'm Carly Schroeder, a functional nutritionalist and personal trainer, and I have helped hundreds of women understand the emotional landscape beneath their eating patterns. What I'm about to share with you goes deeper than any diet advice you have ever heard, because the solution isn't in your meal planning and it isn't in macro counting or calorie counting. It's understanding what you're really hungry for. I'm going to share a personal story for me, as sugar was an event in my family that we all used as a way to bond, connect, and also I learned the process of eating sugar to celebrate. It also was something that I did to feel good. So as I became an adult and I was overloaded on my plate, overburdened, overworked, and tired, I would lean into sugar, processed sugar that made me feel happy, gave me a bit of energy for a little while until I felt it crash. So I got into a yo-yo impact of being dependent on the substance of sugar, and that food was a comfort to me. I began my journey to helping heal myself when I realized that I was addicted to the food, to the substance, and that I was emotional if I couldn't have it. Then when I started to study functional nutrition, I realized that this is so much deeper on a physiological impact and how that actually depletes your body of essential nutrients, how it impacts your stomach acid, how it impacts your liver, and how you burn fat. So today, I really want to dive into why you are not actually saying no when you actually do want to avoid the foods, because it's not an alignment of your goals of losing weight, of getting lean, or feeling better in your skin. The deepest human need that we all feel and desire is connection and belonging. And this is so important and so primal that we will unconsciously sacrifice our own well-being to maintain it. Think about it. If you are focused on losing some weight and somebody offers you a cookie, and they're looking at you like, I just made this homemade cookie, would you like it? Or I brought this for you. The parts of you that are subconsciously thinking, is this gonna create distance in our relationship if I say no? Do they think I'm gonna judge them if I say no? Am I gonna be excluded from the group? The emotional need of belonging and feeling accepted will override your desire to want to stay in alignment with your goals. I have learned as a functional nutrition coach and helping hundreds of women that when your cup is filled with both your physical and emotional needs, it's much easier to say no to the things that aren't in alignment to your goals than when your cup is already empty. So think about this. One of my clients had said to me that she recognized her pattern of going to get chocolate chip cookies at the nearby coffee shop when she was bullied on the school bus. And her immediate response was the bus parked, she got on her bicycle, and she rode over and just got a bag full of cookies and a coffee. This started for her at a very young age, around 14 to 15 years old. In that moment, she wasn't feeling safe. She didn't have a well-balanced meal in her body. She was likely actually kind of hungry and needing some food. And she also just wanted some comfort. In that time, if she had these tools at that time, she would have first been able to recognize the physical needs of feeling safe, of having water, a balanced meal, and then the emotional need of feeling safe or feeling belonging, feeling connection. And she learned in that moment that when I go and eat cookies and when I have this latte coffee, which is loaded with a bunch of sugar, I feel better. So that actually ends up bringing in the loop to repeat again and again. And that doesn't just end at childhood, it starts at childhood. And that becomes your coping mechanism as you become an adult. So the key to breaking out of these patterns is awareness. It's starting to pay attention to the layers of how certain people make you feel, how foods make you feel. And I'm not just talking physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Pay attention if I eat differently around different people, or if you're using food to maintain or avoid conflict in certain relationships and how certain situations affect you. Maybe at work, you'll want to have have chocolate more often because you're stressed out. Maybe at family gatherings, you're more likely to eat the pizza that was ordered in, or a social event when normally you wouldn't have wanted to eat the pizza. Recognizing and having the awareness is the first key to actually becoming conscious about these behavioral patterns that will play on repeat until you can clearly define how and what you're getting out of these places, out of this food. Because in reality, you're not actually craving food. You're craving the feeling that you associate the comfort with food in the moment. The biggest shift really happens when you can satisfy the deeper emotional need first. When you fill your cup with genuine compassion, stimulation, newness, rituals, the right components in a food, thinking about a balanced meal, rest, you can let this craving will actually disappear and the food loses its appeal and the social pressure feels less intense. You actually start to choose food out of alignment and not because somebody else is pressuring you to eat it or because other people are eating it. The same rule applies from food too, from any other addictive pattern like shopping, booze, perfectionism, scrolling, pornography. Oftentimes, these feelings actually will dissolve when the underlying emotional need is met. The practice that can change everything before you reach for something, that comfort food, that thing that sounds good, and it doesn't align with your goals, try this approach instead. Instead of, I'm gonna just eat this Reese's peanut butter cup because it sounds good to me right now, I'm gonna first figure out, how am I feeling? Have I actually checked the box? Have I had a well-balanced meal? Am I actually well rested? Do I need some sleep? Do I need some space and some quiet time? It feel good to get outside and have some fresh air? We're thinking about how we can actually replenish ourselves with our actual physical needs. And then we ask ourselves the question about our emotional needs. Am I feeling boredom? Am I feeling overstimulated? Do I want connection? Am I looking for stimulation? What is the emotional component that you're actually getting from that food high that seems like you need it so bad? Because I can promise you the craving that you're feeling really isn't about the calories. The craving that you're feeling is that search, the belonging, the inner need. And when you start to actually stay present with people, instead of using food to bridge the communication or the gap or the interaction, you'll set yourself free from this pattern of using food to socially fit in, to belong, to feel like you have a place in this world. I want you to become a detective of your own patterns. Before you eat something, check in. Does this align with my goals? What am I feeling right now? What do I think that this food is actually going to give me? How can I meet that need first directly? Remember that you are human and humans need connection. And the key is learning that we can connect to ourselves and to other people in other ways outside of food. And I know that culturally we do this in traditions across the world, that food is a way to cultivate memories. And it still will be that for you, but you're going to do it in a different way. Instead of Halloween being about eating a bunch of candy and knocking door to door, Halloween might be a time where you bob for apples and paint pumpkins with friends and family. Think about how we can actually change the holiday seasons to support your goals without making you feel like a complete outcast in this place, where you can still have that sense of belonging and still be in alignment with your goals, with your health, and supportive to your overall well-being. If this resonates with you and you want to dive deeper into the emotional patterns beneath your eating habits, join my free email series, 1 Week to the Clarity That You Seek, and you will discover how to identify and transform these unconscious patterns for good, because true transformation happens from the inside out.